Hello, today I'm going to be taking apart an Xbox 360 Slim. This is just going to be a teardown. If you want to know a couple facts while I'm tearing this down, if you want to do any, if there's three rings or has any error problems, the fixes are the exact same for the regular Xbox as the Slim, so just letting you know that, as well as laser replacements have the same concept, except for you need to know how to tear these things down, like I'm about to show you. So, first we start off by locating where the hard drive unit is. Now this is a 4G, so it's only got 4 G's worth of internal storage. So when we take off this top, which is located on the bottom, this is the cover for the hard drive. There is no hard drive in here. Normally, if there was one, you just take a little tab and pull it out very carefully, set it down. Make sure you're on a non-static surface, because you'll short out your hard drive. Once you got that done, your next goal is going to be popping these tops off. You just want to get your hands or a screwdriver in between these little sections here and just start kind of yanking them up. If you have problems with one, grab a screwdriver and start sticking it in. Because as you can see, there are little clips right here. So, I'm going to get a screwdriver. You don't have to pause, just let it run.
Okay. Just careful with the shirt.
The what?
The shirt, the logo might get in there somehow, I don't know. Anyway.
I'll edit it out then. I'll blur it.
Also, your hands are kind of in the way, but whatever.
My hands are in the way right now? It doesn't matter.
Being able to see.
This is not working. Not very good with these right away.
I don't like the way that thing bends.
Oh. Read it. And then once you get this cover off, you want to make sure that you take the screen inside of here off, and then the next part is we're going to be taking this part off. So you're going to be wanting to kind of lift up as you go. You'll see that there are slots inside of here. Kind of want to get your screwdriver inside of there and through the holes and everything. Kind of want to prod them through. What you want to be doing inside of each of these is there's a little gap. Take an awl or a flathead screwdriver and you want to be sticking in your screwdriver in like this, catching it, you'll kind of feel something down there, and then you want to be pulling this way, thus as to pull them back. Does it get a good picture of that? Okay. He has to get that. And then this should pop right off. You want to do the same thing for the bottom. These little fans, just take an awl or a screwdriver and it should pop right out. Like that. And then you want to do the same thing you did for down here, up on the top. Putting your screwdriver in and getting in between each of those sections. Putting your screwdriver in and getting in between each of those sections. Now, you'll notice on this top, right here, there is a security bit right there. You want to get your security bits. It's nice to have a, okay. It's nice to have a pack of security bits from about T5 to T12. It's very good. Torque security, I should say. This security is a T10, so we want to be putting in a screwdriver. Unscrew that bit, and then this comes right out. Don't worry about that. That's just all this is a wireless adapter. Next part is the trickiest part. If you look down inside here, in here are the same types of clips you had up on the top and the bottom. Getting these out is a pain. There are different slots, including where this Xbox thing is. You're going to be wanting to put your flathead through each of these and trying to be pushing down and trying to get into those. For the first one, actually, it's good to come out here. Stick your screwdriver down there. Set up the first one. Once that one's gotten, you want to make sure you widen it a bit, and then the struggle for the second one begins.
Hat's in the way.
Sorry. This one is a pain in the ass. If that side's bothering you, go ahead and get the other side a little bit. There are two down here. They're pretty easy to get off. Once you get that one off, you should be able to help. Have you adjusted the camera while I'm doing this?
Not really, I'm just moving it a little bit.
I'm saying, yeah, just move it to get
Yeah,
where I'm doing stuff.
that's what I've been doing the whole time.
It took me 20 minutes to do before. And see, once you get that out, it should pop right open. Now that right there, that little label was your security label, but in this case you're opening up your Xbox, so you don't really need to worry. If you kind of gunk this thing up, happens a lot, these slims are pretty tricky, so this should pop right off. This lid comes off right there. Now we have some more inside the system. We're going to go to the front here, and this little thing should just, no. So we have the system. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to unscrew all of the key components keeping the Xbox 360 down. I will explain some of these screws now as we go through. This right here is going to be your X clamp. There's only one X clamp on the new Xbox 360 Slim. That's CPU, GPU, and everything. These four hold down that X clamp, so if you're doing red ring or error fixing, you want to take this off and do the ring replacement. It's the same for the regular 360. These silver security screws hold in the board to this metal frame, and then the black ones, which we're going to be taking out, what hold the metal frame into the plastic. A common error that I've been getting in right now, a very small one, is the trays. The disc trays are becoming out of line. You could easily take them out and put it back in and try that a couple times, but like this system, if the tray gets out of alignment too much, you want to open up your system, take out the tray, and then be testing it while you turn it on. Now, 360 Slims in the front have it's all touch sensitive, and there's a special little connection for that, which I'll show you in a moment here. Okay, now that we got these out, this cover, I'm sorry, and do not forget to take off the Xbox 360 lid. That is the last screw. We take off the lid, and then the front should come off real nicely. If you notice here, the front is connected down here by this device. This is what senses the touch and everywhere. So you want to just kind of pull that out. Just letting you know, I'm gonna do total new dub over everything. This is just a basic thing for me.
Mm-hmm. There's supposed to be a microphone with a flag looking like thing next to it on this screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that comes right out, and that's the product. Here's your RF module. Lots of people like to mod your LEDs and everything. There's a bunch of different ones. They have separated. They don't have multiple LEDs anymore. They have just the single ones. Actually, I heard that they did that because a lot of people were modding it, so it just kind of helps us with our creativity. So you take off these security bits, and it'll come right off. Your fan is right here, secured in there. It's a hard drive cover, and you've got the SATA connectors right down here that go to the board. It's also SATA connector to the actual drive here, and of course the regular cables. They are interchangeable with the cables that you have from old Xbox 360s because it's just a SATA connection. So underneath, of course, you have your heat sinks are underneath this fan. That's connected directly to your CPU. But right now we're focusing on this disc tray. Underneath it, you can see here's one of the LIOS cards, and you've got some other chips and the RAM and everything. So that's underneath the board. Like I said, if you're having problems with it, put the fan over it, take off this, which is again underneath there. It's not that difficult to do, and then just reheat it and replace the thermal paste, and then you're all good. I would suggest evenly, both sides, evenly distributed for heat gun, and then when you get to the CPU there, go over it about 30-40 times, and then you'll be good. Alright, so this tray is the problem. So your disk drive comes apart. Take off these.
What are these?
You take off the back two cables. Save that. And now your disc tray has 4 screws. And it's kind of tricky. You need to actually be able to take this little label bit off up here, which once you eject the disc, the best way to actually do this is plug in your system. And this is kind of tricky. If you don't feel comfortable doing this, I would not suggest doing this, but it's the best way, especially if you're doing a laser replacement. This is what I do for all my lasers and everything, and how I get my lasers out. So you'll see it in my other demos. yeah, I'm just going to be taking this right back. As it is, so put everything in baggies. Here's an adapter cable. If you got a new 360 Slim and you still had your own power supply and everything, they sell these little cables right here. Just plug it right on in. Plug it in your system. Now this is the tricky part. If you don't like trying to do this, I wouldn't suggest it. But you want to be plugging in your front again. And from there, you should be able is this outlet dead? It's a dead outlet. Shit. Plug this in the toaster.
This wasn't plugged in all the time. What? Just popped right out.
Now your system turns on. Now what I do is this is the hard part. Eject it, and then unplug your system. The tray stays out. Now the hard part behind the rest of this is that you got to get your little device, the front off, which is you have to undo this.
Battery starting to fade.
And then all you need to do is unplug that and that, and you have your disc. Now this goes together. 4 screws. And then you need to make sure that you take this rubber off. And then the front is kind of tricky. You want to be peeling this part off, but you want to keep it in place because this helps keep the whole system, the whole disk drive together. You want to just be peeling off the foam. Just kind of let it hang out there. And then